Captain's Log Supplemental. I'm continuing to run around New Atlantis in my ugly underthings in search of something to wear.
Yeah. Find a gal bank teller and deposit all your creds into my bank account. It'll be paid, of course. Eventually.
Greetings, my intrepid crew. I'm your captain, Bumcheese Lord 69, and I welcome you to my 18th video in my playthrough of Starfield.
Trying to get a job at gal bank. It's the big building with the word gal bank on it.
You know, I really rather quite like you, my dear.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to be a banker. It'll be fun.
Now, why ever would you want to do something as boring as that?
Because magic isn't real, which means I can't be a necromancer. I figured being a soul-sucking banker was the next best thing.
Oh, well, she is just delightful. Now I definitely love her.
Why?
Because you're lovely and I rather like your dry, sarcastic wit, so I want to get to know you.
It's so much more fun to be lonely and miserable, but fine. I like to paint, I like to crochet, pretty much hate everything else. You're starting to grow on me, though. Like a fungus. But I like mushrooms. Guess that's the third thing.
I also rather like mushrooms. Their nummy nums in my mouth parts. I truly do quite love Muria, and I want to make her my bride. Hey, Mortis, if you're watching this video, get on that, would you please? Muria demands to be married.
Future tomorrow. Submit your application now at the nearest kiosk.
Well, it looks like that's one more thing for the to-do list. I shall have to take care of that when I get to Neon. Well, looks like it's back to roaming New Atlantis in my ugly undergarments for me in search of some clothing to cover up this 10-year-old boy body that the Bluehead Bethesda developers love so much.
Exactly. It's like when someone insults you, you want to just beat the shit out of them.
I quite agree, my good man. I've met far too many abusive people in my lifetime who made very attractive targets for a sound beating. I'm afraid this looks rather involved, and I still need to find some clothing, so I'm going to have to come back and look into this a bit later. Right, well, I'll just slip past this person here and we'll see what this building over here is all about. No, that sounds far more involved than I want to contend with while I'm still running around in my ugly underwear. Oh, just great. I'm surrounded by people here. Lots of people to see me in my god-awful gotchas. At least this area seems to have fewer people in it, but I seem to be coming back toward the launch again.
I've met so many interesting people from working at the distribution center.
And now I'm running into an endless string of people to see me in my disastrously dreadful delicates. Lovely. Looks like we're coming up on the Mast building again. Let's see if we can find some clothing in there.
Swear to protect and defend the citizens of the United Colonies to the best of your abilities, and to uphold the values of the Vanguard, honor, loyalty, self-reliance in all your actions.
Welcome to Mast. Yes? You needed something?
Why, certainly, my, dear. Could you find me some clothing,
Most of
please?
Mast's employees have extensive training in their specific areas of expertise. But if you're interested in joining the UC, Commander Tuala of the Vanguard is just on the far side of the room. The Vanguard's open to anyone who
Yep,
can
that's the
fly.
military for you. We can't really help you if you're looking for a job, but we can remind you to join the military because we always need more meat for the grinder.
This is Mast.
What's this place all about,
The beating
anyway?
heart of the United Colonies. Every decision made in the civilized galaxy takes place inside these walls.
So, what's the point of view then, Butch?
I'm one of Mast's resource officers. It's my job to ensure those here on official business get where they're going promptly, and that any rule breaking is dealt with swiftly. Stay safe.
Right then, message received. Piss me off even slightly and I'll treat you stupid at the first opportunity, but, stay safe. Right, so that was a completely fruitless endeavor, and I'm still stuck running around with no clothing on. Well, that's just perfect. I would have to be running through here undressed when there are lots of people around. I'd say it's official. Half the city has probably seen me in my unbelievably ugly unmentionables at this point. Well, would you look at that, I've come back around to the Mast building. I'm going in circles with no clothing on. Well, at least now I'm in a relatively secluded area. Not that there are that many people in New Atlantis who haven't seen me undressed at this point.
Wish that bartender at the viewport would stop complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back by annoying us.
Yes, it's certainly presumptuous of that impertinent woman to expect you to do your jobs. It's not like you have much else to do in New Atlantis. I, for one, haven't seen so much as a purse snatcher. Well, now I've come back around to the lodge again. Yep, I'm definitely going in circles. I hate New Atlantis. I wish I had an in-game map for this place. As I walk through this area full of lush greenery, I should note that not one of these plants are interactable. If this was Skyrim, then nearly every one of these plants would be harvestable. Think about that. Once again, my oxygen is being overcome by CO2 when I move too quickly. I suppose I should have stored some things at the lodge while I was there, but I didn't think of that, so now I just have to deal with being over-encumbered all the time for no reason. So, of course, I end up coming through here when there's a big group of people here to stare at me while I'm still running around undressed. Lovely. You know, I would love to know the particular little ditty that guard was whistling just then. If you're watching this, get on the Shazam app and tell me in the comments. Well, this area looks terribly familiar. I'm starting to feel like I haven't made any progress at all here.
We all have to wear something. Might as well look good doing it. You'll find that I have most everything on offer.
So, my recording hit the 10-minute limit and cut out just then. Now we're at the 8 clothers I didn't notice at the beginning of the previous video, so let's see if we can't find something to wear, shall we? I'm afraid you seem like an arrogant twat who thinks far too highly of himself.
What would you buy from someone who is not? I know what I like. I have a good sense of what most other people like, and the rest is just making sure they're pleased with their purchase. It's clothing, not grav drive tech.
Considering you're literally the first clothing vendor I've found,
I will tell
I'd
you
say
a
take a
secret.
wild guess on that one.
I'm not sure anyone really does. Some act like they have it all figured out, and I admit I am guilty of that myself from time to time. There are, I suppose, a few actively trying to steer the herd, but most are just content to run at the front of the pack and act like they know where it's going. At the end of the day, you must feel comfortable in what you wear. If it speaks to you, what anyone else thinks doesn't matter. Your patronage is appreciated.
I knew it! I knew all those so-called fashion experts were a bunch of frauds who didn't have a clue about anything, but I've always believed one's own personal fashion is the only fashion that matters. So, as you can see, I've settled on purchasing this green outfit, because, like the man said, well, it spoke to me. And it's not much, but I suppose it's better than me running around the city undressed while everyone stares at me, not that the people here seem to care. So now that we've succeeded in our long quest to find some clothing to wear, and it only took more than half the video, it's time to take care of some business in the city, so let's see what there is to do in New Atlantis. It's truly dreadful that I must speak of this in a video about Starfield. Unfortunately, the disgusting comments of certain Bethesda employees have made it necessary for me to make my stance clear. Know when you are watching this that I do not support those who celebrate the assassination of another human being simply for expressing a different opinion. I believe all life is precious, murder is wrong no matter the target, and political ideology is meaningless next to the value of human life. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Well, it seems the little robot's going to be busy out of sight for a while, so let's see if we can't hack our way through this door, shall we? In the early game, it's always a smart idea to do some save scumming when attempting lock hacking in Starfield. It saves on digipicks, and you don't really have that many to start. You see, right here, we've only got 4 options for doing this, and we've got 5 slots in the first layer, so we know we're going to need at least one of the 3 peg options to get through that first layer. You see, right here, I hesitate to use the 2 peg option because I've not figured out which 3 peg option I need, so if I use a 2 peg option, I could actually prevent myself from using either 3 peg option, and I shan't be able to get through this lock at all. I must be ever so careful about which option I choose, because once I make a choice, I'm committed and there's no going back. I believe I've now found the right 3-peg option, so now it's time to find the correct 2-peg option and get on to the second layer. And just like that, we've got through the first layer. Now we're on to the second one. Now we've only got 2 options left, and once again we've got 5 slots, so we know we're going to need the 3-peg option. It's simply a matter of determining the position. Just like that, we've unlocked the second layer, and we're through this door. Now let's see what valuable things we can take out of this room here. Well, as expected, it seems that the things here are to be stolen, if I'm to claim them, and I'm not really keen on doing that, so I may not have anything I can take from this room. Well, it was nice poking around a bit just to see what was there, but since there's nothing in this room I can take without stealing, I think it's best that I just move on. Well, it was interesting doing a bit of exploring here at Orion Tower, but now it's time to find out what else there is to see and do in New
Stop
Atlantis.
complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back by annoying us.
Now that's intriguing. That's the second security guard I've heard talk about this woman at the viewport. Perhaps I should get down there and see what she needs, since she's obviously not going to get any help from inept and useless security guards in New Atlantis. Well, now this is an intriguing new area that I've not seen before. Let's find out what's over here, shall we? Once again, I shall have to make sure not to run too quickly, so that my oxygen is not overtaken by CO2. Now I shall have to wait here a while. Be sure to tune into the next video as we continue to see the sights while we explore New Atlantis. Well, that'll just about be the end of the video, so for now, thank you for watching, download, comment, like, share, subscribe. I hope you were entertained, tell Ash Dixon how not boring this was, keep our water fluoride free, debuild the reboot, let's make Saints Row 5, make it so, and I shall see you on the next video. Giddy giddy boy boy.